Welcome back, fans, to another edition of the FSM, the Prep Rally. Now, it might be look a little different. Big Antt and Joe are not here, but don't you worry. We got Griffin, Kemp, Kalani, Lua. We're stepping in. We're going to keep the bar and the standards high. Silverado taking on Coronado. Griff, what were your thoughts of the game?
Silverado just keeps looking dominant. Every single game they play, it doesn't matter if it's against a 5A level school or against another undefeated 4A school. These guys come in, they show out, and they are one of my personal favorites to watch this season. Just the amount of talent they have, the discipline Coach O seems to constantly put into his players. I see a lot of, I don't see them misstepping at all the rest of this year. I mean, we'll still wait and see, but it's exciting to watch them play, and playoffs are right around the corner, man.
It's exciting to watch them play, but it's also exciting, like you said, to see that mindset with a group of kids at this particular level, to have a goal in mind and to say, we are not satisfied just yet. We're going to enjoy the ride as it happens, but we see the bigger picture, and that's what we're going for, to be in line. And today we saw all phases of the game, special teams, offense, defense. They were rocking and rolling. They got out to an early start, and maybe that just poured Coronado in a hole that they just couldn't dig out of course. But like you said, Silverado is just on a completely different vibe right now. It has been fun to watch them. How they continue the rest of the season should be interesting. In watching this particular matchup, what was something that just stood out either side of the ball?
I think what stood out to me was kind of around in the second half when they couldn't get a score in. They were on the 1 yard line. They end up fumbling. Coronado ends up recovering the ball. There was an argument. There was a controversial call with the refs where they said Coronado did get the fumble and Silverado did fumble before they crossed the line. What stood out to me was the intensity Coach O kept during that moment. He was berating the referees. He was trying to make sure that the call was right. He was showing intensity despite the fact that at that point Silverado was up 29-0. Yeah. And what I like about that is that it shows that the coach doesn't get complacent. He knows that despite being up 29-0, despite being 4-0 on the year, that they still have a long road ahead of them. They still got to put in the hard work. They still got to be who they've been all year. It's good to see a coach like that, especially here in Las Vegas.
As they say, it starts from the top. For Coach O to keep that intensity, it shows the rest of his teammates, hey, this is a standard that we have to live up to right here. If we're up this big and Coach is still this intense, we have to stay focused. For Coronado, good team, some mishaps, but they do have some interesting players on that side. Was it just a matter of, hey, we got punched early and couldn't recover, or did Silverado show possible some holes that they need to fix up for next week's game?
I mean, it's hard to see any holes when you hold a team scoreless. You know, they don't get to the end zone. It's hard to pick any problems. I would say maybe some penalties can be cleaned up, but I mean, Coronado came in doing what they did. They had a strong passing game. They had a quarterback and some receivers who've been doing some things this year, but Silverado just sniffed that out right off the bat, and it didn't help that they scored the opening kickoff. We're already up 8-0 by the time their offense got the ball. But it's just, with Coronado, not a bad team at all. Came in 3-0 in this game. Now leave 3-1. I think they're still going to be a threat, especially down the line when playoffs come. It's just that the better team won today.
And I feel the same way, Griff. I don't feel, in watching this, yes, the score was what it was, but I don't feel that Coronado is just an overrated team or they're not that good. This is just one of those where, hey, we got down early and we just couldn't recover. You saw some glimpses in the passing game with some of their skilled players, even defensively. The defensive line had a few moments where they were getting in the backfield and applying pressure. Quarterback for Silverado just made some awesome plays, or the running back, Hayden Harris. So going forward, I would like to see how Coronado responds to this first defeat and what adjustments they make. But end of the day, Silverado just showed that while you guys are good, we are just a little bit better. Can they keep it up? It's going to be fun to see. And it's going to be fun to hear from Coach O and the player of the game for Silverado. That is coming up right here on the FSM Prep Rally. Now check out the scores from the rest of the city. The FSM Prep Rally is here and it is joined by the Silverado Skyhawks head coach, Coach O. Coach O, thank you for giving us your time.
No problem.
A tremendous victory. Congrats on that. What are your thoughts overall of the game?
Going in, we knew, they were a tough defensive team. They were going to try to, spread around. Their quarterback's been throwing a lot in their games. It was a good test, especially I thought our defense, this is the best they played all year. Offensively, when it keeps things easier for us on offense when we start scoring in other areas. So, we start off with the special teams touchdown, then we get an interception. It just gets the offense, it gives our offensive guys a little bit room to maneuver and do other things.
Now, very much so. I mean, that's a great way to start the game off, obviously. I wanted to ask you this. In the second half, you guys are up 29-0. There's a pass play down at the goal line, little scrimmage, okay, guy fumbles, recovers, but your intensity and question referees. I saw that as this is a coach who, no matter what the score is, I'm going to be intent on every single play, attention to detail. Hopefully my players pick up on it and we carry that momentum through. Is that what you were looking for and trying to install with these kids?
Well, since the beginning of the year, and I've been, pressing these guys, we replaced 4 out of 5 offensive linemen. The only one we had left, and he's been with me since his freshman year, is our left tackle, Jamal Boyd. He's got that mentality that we're trying to get with the rest of the guys. And I've told him before, you can't get a yard, we don't deserve to win. And they know going down there should be no reason to get held up like that. And then we had, some mental mistakes there at, with jumping off sides when we're inside the red zone, which we work at that we shouldn't be getting penalties like that. And they know better. But again, if I always tell my guys, I'm not here to compliment you on everything you do. I'm here to try to fix what you're doing. Mm-hmm. At the end of the season, I'll give you all the compliments you want. But for right now, no, you got to do what we ask you to do.
Yeah, in the process, I'm trying to get you ready for the next game, the next week, the next level. At the end, like you said, I'll give you your roses then. Griff, anything?
Coach, it's like you said, you're not here to compliment your players. You're here to make them better. You guys sitting now 4-0 in the season. I mean, the success has gone back since last season. I mean, you guys have had such a crazy run. What do you say to your players to keep them hungry and to realize that the goal is not accomplished for this season?
Again, I got to put that one back on our senior class. I said we've had some guys that have been playing varsity since they were freshmen. These guys are the ones that keep everybody else going. Our guys that everyone talks about, that they're our big time players, those guys put in an effort that makes everybody else, makes it easier for us to tell, hey, if that guy's doing it, you guys got to be able to do it. It's pretty much they're the ones that are guiding the fuel to keep going. And obviously, like I said, we have that core of players. And I really, because I didn't say it last time, and I really got to compliment some of these guys that have been with us since they were freshmen, but because a lot of times we get caught up with Donavyn and Caden Harris and that, but Jamal Boyd being he's been there with us for 4 years. Starting at left tackle and having to endure what that guy had to as a freshman all the way through now, that's what's keeping our offense moving forward.
Absolutely. And it's like you said, you have a stable of just great players, but I do want to focus in on number 2. The first half was all his. He had the opening kickoff for a touchdown. He had the interception. He ran in the first offensive touchdown. I mean, when you have a player to this caliber, what do you do? What does it mean for the team to have a guy like that who's also one of your leaders?
Again, for us as coaches, obviously having the weapons we have, makes life a lot easier when we know we have it's not just Donavyn. And Donavyn knows this, and he's not, greedy about, hey, I want the ball. Of
course.
Between him and Caden, our quarterback, Brandon, and him spraying the ball around, and obviously that's opening up lanes for Donavyn and for Caden to run through. But obviously, even when one guy doesn't do as well as the other one, they still push each other. Like even when Donavyn complimented at the end for us pushing it in with the quarterback sneak. Mm-hmm. Okay, we're a yard away. We could give it to all of our backs, but yet he's the one that's complimenting our quarterback for pushing it in. I mean, he's getting on our lineman about, hey, that's a great push, getting everybody pushed in the end zone. Now as a coach, no, that's when we have the ability, like, hey, these guys can strike at any time, whether it's offense, defense, and then special teams. Last week, both him and Caden Harris returned punts for touchdowns. You know, that gives us, you know, and it hurts when teams have to punt the ball directly out of bounds. They don't want to punt to these guys. Obviously, gives us good field position.
Of course.
And that's another thing that, you know, that's come about here in the last week, and it's only helping us, especially move the ball on a short field.
Absolutely.
Coach O, we can't thank you enough for your time. We got the big victory this week. Going into next week's game, what's the message you would like to give to your players and the fans?
Well, you know, and I'm going to tell you, and our guys know it. Yeah, it's great we did, you know, we haven't lost, but in all reality, these are just basically preseason games. We're back to 0-0. I mean, it's league time, and our goals haven't changed. You know, we want to win our league, which is the region. We want to win the region, be the #1 seed, and, you know, and hopefully we get back and play at Allegiant Stadium.
That will be awesome. Coach O, thank you once again. We look forward to seeing you guys the rest of the way. Good luck on the season. You guys stay tuned for more on FSM, the Prep Rally. The FSM Prep Rally is proud to be having our special guest here, the player of the game, Donavyn Pellot. Donavyn, a tremendous game. Congrats on the victory. What were your thoughts on the overall outcome of the game?
We did what we were supposed to do. We were kind of firing on all cylinders except for in the red zone where we definitely should have pushed it in. But up front played really well. We were able to distribute the rock and get a lot of guys the ball in space.
You guys started off with a bang early on with the touchdown. Coming in, when you start off like that, just out of curiosity, do you kind of feel something in the air when you step on the field for that first kickoff, like, hey, this is about to be special? Or is it just bang, bang, the play happens, there's green, take advantage of it?
Yeah, it's kind of a bang, bang type of thing. It's kind of really instinct. Just trying to make a play, really. The game comes down to who wants it more and who wants to make plays.
Nice. Donavyn, I got to ask you, man. Opening kickoff, return for a touchdown. Next touchdown y'all score is you running it into the end zone. You get a pick on defense. I just got to ask you, man, you're a jack of all trades. Which phase of the game do you think you get the most joy out of? Or what seems to be more fun?
I don't know. Just playing with guys I've played with since I was really 7 years old. We've been playing a lot of these guys since we were little kids and we were in youth football.
Wow.
So just really going out there having fun and playing with my brothers.
And that's something obviously not everyone has, but that's a great thing. Now, your coach is talking about obviously he wants the leadership to be passed on. You mentioned how you've been playing with these guys since you were 7 years old. How do you guys try to instill that mindset to the younger classmen behind you? You guys are going to be moving on. You guys need to carry this tradition, even if you haven't been playing since you were 7 like us. How do you carry that on?
We have guys who have been playing with us since we were little as well. People like Marcus Council, Cisco Hernandez. Those guys have to really carry the torch, and they definitely can. They're really high caliber players.
And your coach is saying, you know, he works on trying to keep you guys focused, especially with all the success you've had, not just this year but last year. As one of the captains on the team, how do you keep all the guys around you hungry and focused on the goal that is this season going forward?
Really just having fun, and if we're having fun, I don't think anybody can beat us. Not to be like cocky or anything or arrogant. That's not really me. But to have that confidence and to play well and have fun with my brothers is amazing.
Awesome, man.
I think you said it right, to have that confidence and to have fun with it. Yeah, it may sound however, but when you are that confident and know what you can do, yeah, hey, if we're hitting all cylinders, we're going to be tough to beat. And you guys are definitely a lot of fun to watch. Undefeated so far. Going forward, to finish out the season, going into league play, what is something you would like to accomplish? What's the mindset?
Just staying consistent, taking everything week by week. We've been preparing since last winter. So putting all that work in, and all the big guys and our guys up front, our guys in the secondary, our linebackers, we've all been together putting work in since last winter. So just knowing that we've put in that work is a huge confidence builder.
I mean, this may be one of your first, but it sure now will be your last being player of the game. Congrats. Thank you again for your time. Congrats on the victory, and best wishes to the rest of the season.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
The FSM Prep Rally will be back with more. Well, Griff, that's about a wrap for us here at the Prep Rally. It's been fun, but we do got to get out of here.
Yep. I would just say before we leave, Coach O and Donavyn Pellot, like, two outstanding guys coming onto the show. It's always a pleasure to have Coach O on the show, and now, we get to enjoy the rest of the season watching these guys ball.
It's going to be a lot of fun. You guys be sure to check out FranchiseSportsMedia.com for all the latest in high school sports and other sports around the city. Thank you guys for tuning in. This has been Griffin Kemp. I'm Kalani Lewis. Check us out on The Main Event every Friday right here on Franchise Sports Media. Till next time.